All right. We got something special we got to talk about this snowy, you can see it, day.
-17 coming up.
Fuck. But let's hop on talk about this new, fresh cartoon about a children's card game having a different world that can transport to our world through cards. And those monsters can be buddies with other people and have fun. It's called Buddyfight. It's like Pokemon, only gayer.
Implying they use cards in this show.
Buddyfight. No, literally. Someone had the episode and it said, like Pokemon, but gayer. Gay, you say, you got me sold.
You got me sold.
I mean, obviously you haven't seen the dragons in the show yet. They are so
Well, yeah. But it was a big, as you can tell, we were watching the first episode of Buddyfight today, and there is something significantly missing from the show. I believe, yeah, the card game. The whole show was just about Gao apparently being badass.
Best thing ever. And
he's named after the onomatopoeia for roar.
Yep, so the first episode is Gao roars, so roar roars. Excellent.
and everyone he knows is a douchebag.
Every single one of them.
As we expected.
Even his mom.
Yeah, especially his mom.
His mom is on the drugs.
So bitchy.
So we should probably start from the top of the episode.
Well, here's the thing. I stopped after 8 minutes, so.
Well, there you go.
Here's the thing. When something gives me the urge to watch Watsumote instead, I don't think I can handle it anymore.
Emily feels creeped.
But based on what I saw, it's kind of like Digimon Tamers.
If only.
If only.
That's why I said kinda.
Why are you video gaming?
There's not enough snappy one-liners.
Take a guess, kid.
Because 4 kids is not in charge. Which is something you'd think you wouldn't, I don't know, man. You wouldn't miss? Well, apparently that's a lie.
Yeah, it's like, alright, I saw Gargantuan Punisher phase through this one guy. Okay, so there are things called bad buddies.
Bad buddies.
So, like, if you jaywalk, you're gonna get arrested. And the only way out of it is being the unbeatable guy in a card game who looks really similar to Aichi.
Not to mention the ending is all about him and his bromance with this giant dragon.
Not sure who's the main character.
Hey, dragons are where it's at.
They're flying magically through the sky. You just know they're gonna go home and make out.
You're weird, Em. Moving on. So I guess we should talk about what else happened. I guess in this world, they go to school to talk about Buddyfight.
They have to write an essay about the cards.
Because they're writing an essay using the cards as...
Short story.
Sounds like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
Yeah,
Did we
kind of.
mention that also we don't know what kind of future this is, but there's just like random futuristic stuff and slides and symbols?
Yeah, future where cards are in control. Which I guess has more of a presence in this one since the cards are used to connect to the world publicly.
When Link Joker takes over the entire world, this is gonna happen.
Excellent.
They're all doomed.
Excellent.
Clearly. Well, so yeah, while Gao's going around being Gao, I guess.
By fighting by flipping people who are
Yeah,
not high,
flipping
not
people,
very
not actually beating them up or anything, just making them tired by flipping them, I guess. He's being watched by Drum, the dragon. I'm not saying his full name, because his full name is longer than...
Hey man, Drum Bunker Dragon Fang Slade Terrestrial the 13th.
Yeah, that.
Can we also mention that the buddies apparently can just stalk humans from the safety of their homes?
Yeah, just standing there in some kind of weird lake cove thing, watching kids.
Watching you, Yugi. Now stop doing that.
Go get a buddy. But Dad!
Yeah, meanwhile, yeah, Drum's doing this because he is told by his dad to find a buddy.
I just love how the first thing he says, he's like, I'm going to find a great buddy. We're going to be the perfect team. It's going to be wonderful. And his dad just goes, you fool!
No! Your duo has to suck!
He said I'm gonna find the most powerful kid.
Yeah.
Should by no means
Yeah,
be
be
perfect.
Wait.
You What you should be looking for is a child who's unconventional.
More or less is what.
Apparently
You
that
set out
means
to
somebody
do.
who flips people.
Well, it is unconventional for a fight, and
Unconventional? Well, for a card game, no, finalist that doesn't have cards.
He's the most
Yep.
passive-aggressive guy.
yeah, most passive-aggressive martial art technique ever. No actual
Please,
hitting.
Call 50 people. It's my dream to fight 100 people.
It's very, it's really hard to really peg down. At the same time, though, I don't want to say I necessarily hate it. It could have been a lot worse. It's very, it's very cheesy. No, it's a cheesy, not terrible.
That's force.
Yeah. This one is it just is. It's really not trying hard to be a big story. It's not trying hard to be silly. It's just being what it is.
It's not a hard cheddar. It's mozzarella.
Sure.
Get out of here.
Don't talk to me about mozzarella. It's too good.
But yeah, it's very,
Oh, mozzarella's really good cheese.
it's really straightforward. He wants to be a card fighter and then a sun fighter and all this stuff.
No, a buddy fighter, isn't it?
Whatever. Buddy fighter, sun fighter,
It's friends.
king of
He has
fighters,
friends.
king of the
They're all
pirates,
assholes.
all that stuff.
People flipper.
His little sister wants the D.
His little sister wants him, I guess.
Incest is wincest.
Not to mention the best line in the show. I'm sorry, I don't think I should be taking common sense lessons from a girl
Oh yeah,
in a UFO.
and Faruka has the announcer lady with the pink hair. Apparently jumps inside of her monster's UFO and floats around announcing. So yeah, it looks like screaming and dancing announcers shout and got a sex change.
Now I remember the dark tournament from Yu Yu Hakusho.
So I guess that's really all that happened except for when they're opening packs and Dick Cheese McTiger Hair was saying how he got double rare, so he's better than everyone.
So good at this game. Yeah, well, I got the buddy rare card. Fuck you.
Better like
Dragon Eyes are better. Fuck you, Dragons are better.
yeah, the whole thing about
Yeah,
which is
it all
better.
started with a whole Dragon Eyes are better than dragons, and Gao's like, I guess you're right, and Drum's like, you shut up, don't listen to him.
Drum's like, I need to set it straight. I'm becoming his buddy, and I'm teaching him what's right.
You shut your face.
Yeah,
I'm gonna buddy him so hard in the face with my drink.
it seems cluttered, but that's only because we're going out of order.
Yeah.
But long story short, that's the setup is he wants to be an awesome sun fighter, which I guess has to do with buddy fighting somehow.
It's just his nickname for himself.
He is the buddy son fighter.
And well, I guess that's connected to being a pro buddy fighter because he talks about that just as much.
Huge card game.
And he's taught how to fight, in case you're wondering, by his crazy mom.
Oh wait, we forgot about the kid not driving the car.
Oh yeah, and how can bet the most important part? The buddy police has this one kid who drives a car. He's like junior high, right?
Hey, he's like 15 or 14 years old.
I would say like
Jumps out of
13,
it to
14.
run into a skyscraper.
Yep, where he shoots a satellite beam wall. Like big swords of revealing light.
Jet boots and a dragon. He didn't fucking need the car. Why did he have the car?
So he could pick
I
up and shake
remember,
starter?
these dragons talk English, so they don't roar like dragons. They roar like hangover men. Another beer.
Man, no one from the drum family roars or growls either. They just talk.
They just look too borrowed. That's what they do.
Yeah, their roars come at me, bro.
Basically, they just talk a lot of smack. And, well, at the end of it, after he gets his buddy rare, was it a task? I'm going to go on task. That's what it is. It's task. You know it is. Don't you give me that.
Let's call him IT
No, his name is
2.0.
Task. T-A-S-U-K-U. Task. Anyway, he shows up at the school, which apparently has only teachers for show, as none of the teachers stop their kids from running out of the classroom in the middle of class to run to the see Task show up with his dragon, where he shows up to give Gao his buddy deck box, I guess.
His
Buddy box.
something. Whatever, man.
It's deck box that can transform into a disc that can become, I guess, winged shoes.
His
Real
magical
cards.
dex box.
And like I said, as you can notice, we haven't really brought up much about actual card playing because it didn't happen in the show, at least not on screen.
We got to see Thousand Reindeer though.
And we got to see some singles, and we got to see Gargantua Punisher be used.
Phase through that man in fear.
Apparently,
Episode 1 of Vanguard. This is not.
yeah, it's a lot more not card game related than Card Fight was. And I don't know if that's a good thing considering their main goal is to, sell cards. For an actual show, it's like that's a pretty okay setup.
Because they didn't need the
It's
cards.
just cards don't need to be there.
It could just be monsters come from another world. And they team up with people.
In fact,
but we
that
saw
is
in
the
the-
next Digimon. Hmm?
We saw in the promo that they actually end up playing the game.
Oh yeah, in fact, that's the next episode.
Oh, thank goodness.
Next episode, so they're going to play the next episode. It's just, if they weren't going to have them fight in the first episode, it should have been a 2-episode premiere. So you can actually see buddy fighting.
You're getting buddy blue balled.
Yeah, so on the plus side though, despite what they said at the conference, the episodes are being dubbed, I guess, roughly simultaneously.
Yeah.
It's because they're online anyway.
What about the Japanese premiere anyway?
Yeah. So it's we can assume it's being broadcast at the same time. Maybe he's on Crunchyroll right now, even for all we know. I don't know.
All I know is that I'm just gonna watch Space Dandy instead.
I don't know, I like it, but I'm a really big fan of cheese.
Yeah, I like cheese too, so he'll at least be able to tolerate it. I just hope it doesn't meander like Zeal did, because that's what drew me away from Zeal. Well, outside of all the hipness.
Pop Flynn.
Please stop.
But what drew me away from Zeal was it just took like, what, a season and a half doing nothing?
Half of the first season doing nothing. Introducing a bunch of nobodies we didn't give a shit about. And we still don't give
We
a
still
shit
don't
about.
even after all this time. So,
And like, tournament arc, and then things get real, but by this time you're like,
Well, this time we've gone through like what,
63
60 episodes in. It's like most shows that we watch are not even that long. So in order for us to expect us to go 60 episodes before something important happens is asking a lot.
So they Final Fantasy 13 does.
Yeah.
Oh no! Please don't! Please don't! No!
So as long as it doesn't do that, it should be okay. Because I think Vanguard jumped right into the card games in the first episode and had the first tournament thing like 8 episodes in, and then the first storylines plots showing up about 16 episodes in with the Soul Saver thing. Like it didn't take that long for it to start moving, and it had a good flow. Zeal did not. It just had a bunch of episodes doing nothing. So as long as Buddyfight doesn't do that and 6 more to Vanguard's mechanics, it should turn out okay, or at least watchable.
At least if it has Vanguard Season 1's writing instead of the seasons after.
What'd you say, Elliot?
pacing is fine.
Yeah, pacing's fine so far. Like I said, the only real problem is it doesn't have cards so far.
Probably like do some parts card game, and when they're waiting for more sets to come out, we'll have
Well, that's the thing.
buddy police episodes.
Well, that's the thing too. In the show, they were talking about what world would you choose, and they show the 3 worlds that are coming in the first set. But Parako's using something from the hero world,
Whatever.
or whatever world. It's not from any of the 3 that we have. So we clearly know other worlds exist.
So we know that the hero world is Gold Paladin. Got it.
Nope, Dimension Police.
No.
Aliens.
Because her buddy is a
It's a flying UFO, like shout. I'm hoping Nova Grappler, that'd be great. Buddy fight Nova Grappler, let's do this.
I want my pirates.
One thing that
You
was
hold
actually
on.
kind of impressive was that all the text, except for the dojo sign, was English. I'm pretty sure that was just left as is for cultural
I
reasons.
think that it was supposed to be like that because it's a JoJo. But yeah, it was all like Englished. So they didn't take their time, at least with the aesthetic points, to make it look as good as they could.
going all out.
And whoever knows,
The casting, I don't know.
the casting is some of it's very forced or phoned in, and really the only notable ones outside of almost breaking her microphone, Gal's mom, was drums almost sounding like Johnny Youngbuck. He's like halfway there.
I kept hearing Rekka and all the women and wanted to shoot something.
Jackknife 2 also has a hysterical voice, in my opinion.
Yeah, but that's mostly because it doesn't look like someone that could talk, let alone talk with a sophisticated old man voice.
And he goes like,
Raymond!
So it's like, yeah, it's not a bad show. It's cheesy, very cheesy. It's not bad. It's paced well, looks good. It just better not meander like Zeal, and it better actually have card games in majority of the episodes. I know I'm saying that a lot, but it's because for a card game show, not to showcase its card game in the first episode that premiered by itself, that's a pretty bold move.
because we know they're not going full Digimon mode where the card game is never mentioned.
Yeah, but it's not mentioned because the card game in that series is secondary.
Yep.
It's not the main attraction. Obviously, it's not the main attraction. I think the card game died, at least here, like what, a decade ago?
Man, it died 3 different times because Bandai is incompetent.
Yeah.
Wait, they made more after 2000?
Well, yeah, they did because the Digimon, I don't remember what it's called here. Digimon Fusion has trading cards again. So yeah, they still make
I
them.
thought they stopped making toys after Tamers.
Nope, they're still the ones who make the not Sentai stuff, Sentai clone stuff for Power Rangers. The stuff that's almost like the original stuff, but it's a lot more cheap. Like the Gokaiger phone brought here. There's not individual buttons anymore. It's like 3 buttons that look like they're multiple buttons. It's But my point is, I actually lost my point. My point is,
Buy Japanese toys.
well, yeah. Point 1, buy Japanese toys. Point 2, Buddyfight better actually have cards in it if it's a card show. Otherwise, just don't make it a card show and just make it cards based off the show. Because that could have worked too.
It's gonna be a card show with actual school in it, guys. We
It's
gotta see
okay.
some school.
Someone's going to die to a Gargantua Punisher. We don't know who yet.
So I guess
Metal wafer.
we drilled that into the ground as far as it's gonna go. So I guess we'll go on to final impressions. Elliot, for the first episode of the outing. All right. Zan. All right, nothing from these two. I guess they don't have any faces for this. Em,
Delicious, delicious cheese all over my body.
you didn't see it.
I like toast.
You.
It was actually pretty good. I'm looking forward to seeing the second one.
All right. I agree, hoping that they don't screw it up. I mean, it's really hard to tell with them when it comes to their show productions. First season of Vanguard was pretty great. Second one was not so great. I don't know what's going on in the third one. It's so up and down, you can't really tell.
Stop playing with my sack!
Yeah.
Put your head down.
So we'll see what happens with that, and we'll keep in touch because it's coming out here weekly. At least that's what they say it's going to do.
Tune in next time on
Yep.
Fire Leon.
Oh, yeah, like Fire Leon.
Gold money, baby. Oh.